Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a very special kind of video. I had the honor, and you can see my hand there, I had the honor of actually visiting Aura, ultimately from, you know, general Yu Gi Oh! Stuff, over on a trip. And thankfully, because I am obsessed with trying to make Rush content, at least real life Rush content, we are able to get the chance to film some feature matches, which is great. So unfortunately, because something always has to go wrong with whenever I work with technology, the audio, while it's like passable, like you can hear it, I don't feel like I should use it for a video. So I'll have to do some live commentary instead. So I hope you don't mind. I was trying to do it more like one of those exhibition feature matches that is like heavily edited, but that's not really working out because I have to actually commentate over stuff. But I might throw up some card images here and there. Maybe like show some attack points if people need some help with it. But yeah, currently we're just resolving dice rolls, and now we're having the feature match between Light Galaxy and Dark Galaxy. And these are mainly geared towards like, anime casual, more on the playable side. So, sit back, relax, and let's see. All right, so we're kicking it off with Twinkle, milling Rhynak, an amazing mill right off the bat. I'm just good at Yu-Gi-Oh! And then we follow up with Override. That's also very good. Milling Eve. Okay, that's fine. And then, yeah, honestly, for an opening like that, it's honestly pretty good. Very simple, and it's like exactly where you want to be with Light Galaxy. Just graveyard setup, big bodies, and then just hoping to survive. Now, you can see over a bit in Aura's hand that they have False Sun. So obviously, False Moon is involved. So let's see how they kick it off here with their turn. And also, if you can see in the background behind Aura, there's Albast Cat. He was very cute. Oh! Graceful off the top. Well, that's one way to kick off a game. Alright, so what are the discards that they're gonna go for here? It's been a while since, I actually played these games. You know how turnaround are with recording and stuff. So I'm kind of looking at these with semi-fresh eyes. So yeah, it looks like Aura's going over the extra deck for a bit. I can see peeking over there just a little bit, being Power Rhynak. So, a bit of a giveaway. It's one of those Chaos Galaxy. I don't know if it's Chaos, like the right word for it. But the Light Dark Galaxy variants that's been popping up recently in tournaments. Honestly, that deck is very, very cool. I've been enjoying playing it a lot. So, looks like Aura's finally resolving Graceful, and looks like we're pitching Badger. Shout out to all the Fukamura enjoyers. And at least in the standard builds that have been going around, you don't see a lot of the 5 Dark Matter monsters. The lists have been very condensed into mainly just Rhynak and some of the Enigmata pieces. Alright, and there's False Moon, and since we have 2 discards, we're able to bring Ban back immediately. Very, very good stuff. Honestly, False Moon is a crazy card. Oh, and there's Rhynak. Very nice. And I believe, yep, this is where the fusion happens. Because Rhynak, or at least Power Rhynak, just needs any 4 Galaxy. It doesn't matter the attribute. So, False Moon fulfills a requirement. And now we got Power Rhynak on the board. Power Rhynak is an, release-wise has been very interesting because he just debuted by himself in like Overrush Pack 2 before like I believe it was the KP, the Burst Rex of whatever Awakening. So very weird standalone card to just show up out of nowhere, but it's pretty good. It gets big, and if you have a Farai, it gets even bigger. Very nice stuff. So I think this one should be 36. Because he just gains the 1k from it. So if back row is, sufficient or not really relevant. Clean attack over override. And you kind of have to kill the override because it's both a 7 for all the fusions and it becomes Rhinac, you know? So it's a high priority threat. So now, yeah, Or is just going over the effects. I'm checking my back row and Cylinder moment. Very, very unfortunate. And Cylinder is really, really dangerous to be against, especially when you're up against Light Galaxy. You know, the more pure variants. Well, you know, even Chaos Galaxy has it to some extent where the damage thresholds are just so high. Oh, and here we go. We got the ship with the ult art. The ship ult art is very nice. Shout out to Ryozai, by the way. I should mention that these games were filmed before the ban list. Speaking of ban list cards, here's Jest. So yeah, these lists, or at least these lists were made in mind with like 3 Jest and 3 Ryozai, all that stuff. And we see we snipe the back row, hitting the gate attack. Very nice. So now we're clear to do some damage. Now we get to draw 2 cards. Man, Jest is so crazy. Remember? Well, this is going to be more of a timepiece, but you're going to see through some of these games how crazy it is that Jest was a card at 3 copies. Alright, so, oh, there's Fusion of the Override, and I believe the target for the effect was actually the False Sun. Yeah, there I go, point that. Thank you, pass me. And then, yeah, now we use, I believe... do I use False Sun here? No, I use Reborn here. Oh, Reborn. A very, at the time of recording and maybe publishing this video, a very prominent card in the Rush community's minds. And yeah, here we go. Fusion summoning into Valuable. Valuable. What a crazy, crazy card. You know, to just go over it a little bit for those unfamiliar, you know, you shuffle back the 2 7 effects, which is happening here, 2 overwrites, and then you gain just a bunch of attack, and I think he goes up to like 43, 42, attacks twice, can't be destroyed by battle or trap cards. Just an insane card. And from, you can see from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Neuron app that you can download by yourself, hashtag not sponsored by Konami, Or is at 44. So with attacking twice and dealing damage, it's just a clean OTK here. And yeah, I think Aura's just going over it a bit. I think soon enough, yeah, just setting for prosperity's sake. Prosperity? Posterity? I can't speak English. Anyway, yeah, game's done. And I think, yeah, because it's lethal if I crash. So overall, 3 turns. It's almost like an anime duel in that way, right? But the person who went first didn't lose. So that's a bit of a difference at least. Alright, so that's game 1. And I'll see you all in game 2. And here we are at game 2. Aura starting us off since they took that L, unfortunately, at the last one. Let's see how this game turns out. And yeah, in the last one, I think I sort of mentioned it before, but man, Valbus just takes games. Oh, look at this. A double Rhinac opening with 2 cards in hand. Ooh, not even the back row to set. That's unfortunate to see. You really want empty... Oh, Twinkle off the top again, milling both. I'm just so good at Light Galaxy. Milling another Flora. Milling Cylinder and Eve. Okay, I'm not that good. I'm not that good at Light Galaxy. Looks like it's just both beatdown. Hey, that's fair enough. What is it? Extra Flora. Because we've been doing several test games with this. With these decks. And Extra Flora has been crazy every time. Such an insane card that just came out of nowhere. Well, came out of nowhere is a bit of a stretch, but it really ties together the sort of fusion identity that Light Galaxy has built up, and it just enables so many fusions. And the more Rhinac fusions we get, the better it becomes. And we see Aura here resolving graceful while I'm talking. The one very sort of like almost dangerous but exciting thing, oh, and there's the third Rhinac, I think, is that since we've been getting the, oh, there's Jest. Hi, Jest. Nice to meet you. Oh, and there's Ephorai. Ooh, that's very scary. And yeah, it looks like, or just popping the one card to draw two, because you can do that with Jest. It's very flexible. But as I was saying, because of the direction, or the cardinal direction fusions I've been getting in Power Rhinac, and then in the anime we got Assault Rhinac, it's gonna be very scary to see what both enables in the future. And looks like False Sun flipped up my Riker. Very unfortunate. Riker has been, I don't know what's like the general consensus with the Riker in Galaxy list. I've seen some lists that don't even run him. Obviously, once Assault Rhinac comes out, maybe more people will start running him again. For me, he's been just fine. It's weird that Galaxy doesn't have piercing more often. It's like just like Riker and like Meteor Charge that's mainly reserved for the vanillas. Well, not just vanillas, but you get what I mean. But very funny. All right. Oh, Hazard Doll. And now we finally get to the Dark Matter Enigmata enablers. And man, just the whole package of like Death Cheer, Hazard Doll, and then Cradle, and to some extent Lock Doll, they're very good cards. Lots of good millings, lots of good fusion recovery. You just guarantee an Enigmata. I really like those cards. Alright, and now we're just doing the battle phase shenanigans, and this time Aura built up much more of a board. No fusions yet, but a lot better off. And you know, the life point thresholds are about equal. But with Light Galaxy as a deck, you know, those life points can get reduced just like that. And speaking of a card that might enable that, there's just, oh, and we see Oblivion, Overwrite, and Ship. Sniping 2 background. Oh, and Darkhold Device. Yeah, because like, at least with the more Dark Galaxy-centric decks, Device sometimes pops up. It depends on preference. Oh, and there's Reborn. That's very scary because we know both was there from a previous turn. Yep. But yeah, Device is interesting in that Dark Galaxy doesn't have a lot of ways to filter through monsters in their hand. And Device just sort of exists as a way that you might be able to filter and also board wipe. And here I am yapping while a valuable is coming down with 2 premium attack position monsters from him to just attack into. Very, very precarious situation to be in. And yep, looks like we're shuffling here. Yep. In at least in some of the variants I've seen of the Chaos Galaxy list, Device just sort of exists as like this weird equalizer where like you nuke the board and then you get back Dead Cheer and then you like do the whole thing and attack directly with Enigmata. It's like fine, it's just very unwieldy as a card, and some people have started moving away from it. And then it does have the alternative cost, where if you have a fusion on board, you don't have to discard. Which honestly, I think at that point, it's kind of a fair trade-off. Because you don't get the benefit of something like Apocalypse, where it stays around. But you still get a board wipe and still get an ad. So it's like fine. And just look at this. 18 attack. That, well, attack, what am I saying? Like, 1,800 life points. That's just insane. That valuable can just do that. This is why not every deck can run a high density of traps. But like if you can, then you should. Oh, and I see. Oh, yeah, I remember this now. Because Aura tried to make a power, but Lockdoll's a 3 and not a 4. So can't really do that. Yep. Very, very unfortunate. But yeah, it looks like now we're gonna try to make new plays happen here. But as I was saying, it's just crazy the amount of damage that valuable pushes. I think I've been repeating that ad nauseum. Ad nauseum? Ad nauseum? How do you even say that word? I'm doing this bad habit of mine where I just say words that I think sound like intellectual and erudite while I don't know how to pronounce them properly. Oh, look at that! Azardol. Okay, yeah, and now since we have both fusion set up and we had Freydol and yep, we have another one here. Now we get to make 2 fusions in 1 turn. Shout out to Enigmata though. Enigmata is such a funny card. Honestly, even if you don't have the anime context, just seeing a 0/0 that just becomes a big guy, and maybe it has protection if you have a set. Honestly, it's just such a cool card. And if you are an anime fan, they're coming out with an alt art. I think in one of the DVDs that's coming out with all the Darkmen on it. It's so cool. I really like it. Oh, and now we're activating Power Rhinac, and I believe there was an Epherai just like ages ago. I say ages ago, but it's only been like, what, 2 turns or something? So crazy how the pace of the game is like that. Where just so many actions can happen. And to be fair, Aura milled a lot and resolved like a graceful. So yeah, now power gets up to like 62. Why does power do that? Why do all the Rhinac fusions just hit hard or gain attack or all that stuff? It is just so silly. So silly. And look at that. Cutting your opponent's deck. Make sure to always offer your opponent or present your deck to your opponent so they can cut it properly. Don't want any card stacking or cheating happening. No. Alright. 33. Just like that. Alright. And then we pass it back. Draw 5. Man, it's so good to draw 5 in Rush. Every time I do it, it always feels amazing. Unless you like brick. But just don't brick. Don't be bad, you know? And I think this is where I'm trying to see how I find lethal. Alright, so how do I do that? Enters Prime, let's go. Lime Enjoyers, rise up. And looks like we just milled a bunch. And I believe there's already a Rhinac from before, so there he is. Added back. I really like Enters Prime and Light Galaxy list. Obviously, it's more of a Prime card, but it just works really nicely here. Oh, and Secret Order. Welcome back for the first time, Oblivion summoned. And then, yep, all 3 go into the rarely summoned Eternal Galactica Oblivion, whose job sort of got taken by Valuable. But now this is just a clear lethal because the graveyard is set up, you know, milled a bunch, and Eternal can just gain all heaps of attack and just have lethal here. Especially when there's like no back row to stop it. So yep. Yeah, and then yeah, or just like, yeah, you don't need to give me the deck. It's fine. We already know what's happening. Yep, and then I think, yeah, I'm just showing the graveyard a bit like, yeah, we don't really need to do it. And then, yeah, that's pretty much game. But yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. There's gonna be a couple of more feature matches in this style soon. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully by then I'll have better pronunciation. Catch y'all around, everybody.